Shockwaves hit the Super Bowl before kickoff even ended because Bad Bunny's halftime spotlight suddenly faced an unexpected rival event backed by major political voices and NFL legends, and nobody watching the league saw this collision coming. Fans expecting a normal halftime build-up instead walked into a culture clash that blended music, politics, celebrity quarterbacks, and a streaming disaster that changed the entire conversation overnight. Stay with this story because the twist that hit just minutes before halftime flipped expectations and may have handed the biggest advantage to the very performer critics doubted could dominate America's biggest stage. The drama started when Turning Point USA announced a competing halftime show designed to pull attention away from the official NFL performance, instantly sparking debates across locker rooms, fan forums, and sports talk shows about whether football's biggest night was becoming a battlefield for cultural influence rather than just touchdowns and trophies. For NFL viewers used to analyzing playbooks and matchups, the sudden arrival of a political organization staging its own entertainment spectacle added a layer of tension rarely seen around the league's championship game. AS conversations exploded online. The names attached to the rival event fueled even more intrigue because the performance lineup blended country stars, rock personalities, and outspoken figures who already carried massive followings among certain NFL fan bases. Kid Rock, Lee Brice, Brantley Gilbert, and Gabby Barrett were promoted as headline performers, promising a high-energy concert meant to challenge the dominance of the official halftime production. The strategy was clear: create an alternative viewing experience powerful enough to fracture audience attention during the most expensive commercial minutes in television history. The announcement alone triggered reactions from players past and present who understood how tightly the Super Bowl halftime stage is controlled by the NFL, its sponsors, and broadcast partners. Former Green Bay Packers quarterback Brett Favre added his public support to the rival event, bringing instant sports credibility and sparking heated debates about whether legendary players should step into cultural battles tied to the league's biggest showcase. Former ESPN host Sage Steele also voiced encouragement, amplifying the reach of the competing concert across sports media audiences already tuned into Super Bowl storylines. Inside NFL circles, executives reportedly monitored the situation carefully because anything that threatens to split halftime viewership could impact advertising numbers, brand partnerships, and even the narrative surrounding the game itself. Coaches and players preparing for the championship might not publicly comment, but insiders know distractions can seep into media coverage, affecting how fans experience every moment from kickoff to the trophy presentation. Meanwhile, Bad Bunny entered the week facing skepticism from some traditional football audiences who questioned whether a global reggaeton superstar could resonate with viewers accustomed to rock legends or pop icons dominating past halftime shows. Critics debated language barriers, musical style differences, and cultural shifts in NFL entertainment, creating a cloud of controversy before the first note was even rehearsed on the massive halftime stage. What many overlooked was the NFL's ongoing strategy to expand internationally, attract younger fans, and embrace diverse audiences who represent the future of the sport's global growth. League executives have repeatedly emphasized that halftime shows are not just concerts but strategic branding moments designed to capture worldwide attention. In that context, Bad Bunny symbolized a bold step toward a more global football identity. As kickoff approached, sports analysts predicted that the rival TPUSA concert could siphon millions of viewers online, especially if promoted heavily through social platforms where political engagement already runs high. The possibility of fans choosing between two simultaneous halftime experiences turned what is normally a predictable entertainment segment into a real-time ratings showdown. Then came the moment that changed everything. Just as anticipation peaked, Turning Point USA announced that technical difficulties prevented it from streaming the competing halftime show on X, the platform expected to host the primary broadcast. Suddenly, the carefully planned alternative event lost its most accessible distribution channel, forcing organizers to scramble and redirect viewers to YouTube instead. That unexpected setback reshaped the narrative instantly. Instead of dominating headlines as a powerful counter-programming move, the rival concert faced questions about preparation, reliability, and whether the logistical challenges of competing with the NFL's massive production infrastructure were underestimated from the start. Social media reactions shifted from confident promotion to confusion and last-minute adjustments. For Bad Bunny, The news landed like a strategic gift because it reduced the likelihood of widespread audience fragmentation at the exact moment millions were deciding where to focus their attention. Analysts who previously predicted a fractured halftime audience began reconsidering their projections, noting that streaming disruptions often cause viewers to default to the main broadcast rather than chase alternative links. Fans watching the drama unfold experienced an emotional roller coaster because the entire storyline mirrored the unpredictability of an NFL game itself. 1 minute the rival concert seemed poised to challenge the halftime throne, and the next minute it was fighting simply to reach its own audience. The sudden shift reminded viewers how fragile even high-profile media plans can be when technology falters under massive demand. Inside sports talk circles, the conversation evolved beyond entertainment into deeper questions about the intersection of politics and football. Should halftime remain a unifying cultural moment, or is the era of competing narratives inevitable in a media landscape driven by niche communities and personalized content feeds? Former players weighing in on podcasts described the situation as another sign that the NFL exists within a broader cultural arena where every decision can trigger debates far beyond the field. Some fans argued that competition itself reflected the spirit of sports, where rivalries push everyone to elevate their performance. Others worried that external controversies could overshadow the athletes who spent an entire season fighting for the championship opportunity. Amid those debates, the halftime stage became symbolic of larger cultural tensions shaping modern sports entertainment. As viewers prepared for halftime, curiosity built around how Bad Bunny would respond to the noise surrounding the competing event. Would he acknowledge the controversy indirectly through his performance choices, or focus purely on delivering a memorable show that speaks louder than any political headline? The anticipation added another layer of intrigue that traditional halftime performances rarely carry. Music industry insiders noted that Bad Bunny's global fan base might actually benefit from the controversy because increased media coverage introduced his name to viewers who might not normally follow Latin music. Controversy often drives curiosity, and curiosity drives clicks, streams, and television engagement numbers. The debate itself became part of the marketing engine leading into halftime. At the same time, TPUSA supporters rallied around the challenge, encouraging fans to switch platforms and support the alternative concert despite technical setbacks. Influencers across sports and political communities posted links, created countdowns, and attempted to maintain momentum even as questions about streaming reliability lingered. The determination reflected how invested certain audiences were in creating a competing cultural moment alongside the official NFL broadcast. Meanwhile, advertisers watched closely because halftime viewership patterns influence millions of dollars in commercial value. Companies invest heavily expecting massive, unified audiences, and any disruption to that model could reshape future sponsorship strategies. Marketing analysts debated whether this situation represented a one-time anomaly or the beginning of a new era where competing halftime programming becomes more common. In locker rooms across the league, players preparing for future Super Bowls likely absorbed the lesson that the biggest stage in sports now includes off-field narratives capable of influencing fan conversations as much as game highlights. Younger athletes who grew up in the social media era understand that public perception and digital trends can shape legacy discussions just as much as championship rings. As halftime finally arrived, millions of viewers faced a choice shaped by days of escalating drama. Some stayed loyal to the NFL broadcast out of tradition, while others attempted to navigate alternative streaming options out of curiosity or ideological alignment. The ratings battle became a real-time experiment in audience behavior during one of television's most iconic moments. Reports emerging after the game suggested that the technical difficulties significantly limited the rival event's reach compared to initial projections. Many viewers who considered switching simply remained with the main broadcast rather than dealing with last-minute platform changes. That shift reinforced the power of established infrastructure and the challenges newcomers face when attempting to compete with the NFL's massive production machine. For Bad Bunny, the performance itself carried the responsibility of proving that he belonged on the same legendary stage that hosted icons like Michael Jackson, Prince, and Beyoncé. Delivering an electrifying show under intense scrutiny required balancing musical authenticity with the expectations of a diverse football audience spanning generations and cultural backgrounds. Early reactions highlighted the energy, choreography, and visual spectacle of the official halftime show. with many viewers praising the performance as a bold evolution of NFL entertainment rather than a departure from tradition. Social media sentiment analysis showed spikes in positive engagement immediately following key moments, suggesting that controversy may have amplified rather than diminished overall interest. Meanwhile, the rival concert still attracted dedicated supporters who celebrated the performances of Kid Rock, Lee Brice, Brantley Gilbert, and Gabby Barrett through the YouTube stream. Their fans emphasized that the existence of multiple halftime options reflected freedom of choice in a digital age, where audiences no longer rely on a single broadcast to shape their entertainment experience. Sports commentators later debated whether the technical failure ultimately determined the outcome of the halftime attention war, or whether the NFL's brand power would have prevailed regardless. Some analysts argued that even without streaming issues, competing with the Super Bowl's production scale remains an uphill battle requiring extraordinary resources and flawless execution. The involvement of Brett Favre added another layer of complexity because his legacy as a Hall of Fame quarterback carries enormous influence among football fans. Supporters viewed his endorsement as proof that alternative cultural events could resonate deeply within certain segments of the NFL community. Critics countered that legendary players stepping into politically charged entertainment risks, dividing a fan base already grappling with numerous off-field controversies. Sage Steele's participation also sparked conversations about the evolving relationship between sports media personalities and independent events outside traditional broadcasting networks. As more journalists and commentators build personal brands across digital platforms, the line between mainstream coverage and alternative programming continues to blur. Looking back, the entire saga illustrated how modern sports narratives extend far beyond the field. A halftime show once considered a simple musical interlude transformed into a multi-platform cultural showdown involving political organizations, global music stars, former NFL legends, and technological challenges that reshaped audience behavior in real time. Fans who tuned in expecting only touchdowns and trophy celebrations instead witnessed a microcosm of contemporary media culture where entertainment, politics, and technology collide in unpredictable ways. The unexpected streaming failure served as a reminder that even the most ambitious plans can unravel under the pressure of live global events. As debates continue about whether rival halftime programming will become more common in future Super Bowls. League officials may evaluate new strategies to protect the unified viewing experience that advertisers and sponsors rely upon. At the same time, independent organizations might refine their technical infrastructure to avoid similar disruptions if they attempt another competing broadcast. The bigger question lingering after the game is whether controversy ultimately benefited both sides by generating unprecedented levels of conversation around halftime entertainment. Increased attention can translate into higher engagement metrics, stronger brand recognition, and a broader cultural footprint for everyone involved. For fans, the experience demonstrated that modern sports consumption is no longer passive. Viewers actively choose platforms, participate in online debates, and shape narratives through comments, shares, and viral reactions that influence how future events are marketed and produced. As we analyze the aftermath, one thing becomes clear. The Super Bowl is no longer just a football game or even a halftime concert. It is a massive cultural arena where competing visions of entertainment, identity, and influence clash in front of the largest television audience in the world. Now here is the question that could define the future of halftime itself. Should the NFL embrace the chaos and allow external events to coexist with its official programming? Or should it work aggressively to maintain a single, unified entertainment experience that keeps all eyes on one stage? Drop your take because this debate is far from over, and the league's next moves could shape how every future Super Bowl is experienced by millions of fans worldwide. As the dust settles, analysts will continue dissecting viewership numbers, social engagement metrics, and the broader cultural impact of a halftime showdown that almost redefined the boundaries of sports entertainment. One thing is certain, the night proved that in today's media landscape, the biggest battles are sometimes fought not on the field, but in the battle for attention during the moments when the game pauses and the world watches something entirely different. In the days following the Super Bowl, conversations continued evolving as more detailed analytics reports revealed how audiences navigated between the official halftime show and the rival concert stream. Media researchers discovered that viewers who initially attempted to access the alternative event often returned to the NFL broadcast after encountering delays or confusion, reinforcing the importance of seamless technology in live entertainment battles. These insights became case studies discussed by sports marketing students, television executives, and digital strategists eager to understand how modern audiences behave under competing content pressures. Former players appearing on morning sports shows described the situation as a turning point for how athletes view their own off-field influence. Many acknowledge that endorsements, public comments, and social media engagement now play roles nearly as powerful as performance statistics when shaping public perception. The involvement of figures like Brett Favre demonstrated that retired stars can still drive massive conversations years after leaving the field. Meanwhile, Bad Bunny's team reportedly analyzed every element of the controversy to measure how attention translated into streaming numbers, merchandise sales, and social media growth. Early data suggested that curiosity from non-traditional NFL audiences boosted engagement significantly, validating the league's decision to embrace a global music icon capable of reaching beyond traditional fan demographics. Cultural critics wrote opinion pieces examining whether the clash represented a deeper shift in American entertainment, where major events become platforms for ideological expression. Some argued that sports have always been intertwined with social issues, pointing to historical moments when athletes used their visibility to address cultural debates. Others felt that the Super Bowl should remain a temporary escape from political tension, offering a rare moment of unity across diverse communities.